Hello, this is Unlimited Splash, where we get better at Magic together through a new draft every day. And today I'm so excited to bring you a run of the Lorwyneclipsed Arena Direct. In this event, if you win 6 games before you sustain your second loss, you win a Lorwyneclipsed Play Booster Box. If you get 7 wins, you actually win 2 booster boxes. So I'm going to buy in, and we are going to hope to open some incredibly good cards. Let's see what we've got. Come on, Figure of Fable. Okay, honestly, I've seen a lot of sealed pools in this format. I recently came back from the Face-to-Face Games Spotlight Series event in Toronto, where I played 1 trillion rounds of sealed Lorwyn. And this is not a very good set of rares. Grub and Blood Crypt are in sort of one lane of goblins, which I think is not very likely to be where I land. But Soul Immolation is an incredibly good card, a one-sided board wipe. This one actually took me out in a game that I thought I was very likely to win in Toronto. And then we have another little cluster here in the blue and white space. Deepway Navigator is a sort of a Merfolk Lord a little bit. Sig's Command is the worst command, but it's the Merfolk command and good enough if you're in Merfolk. Glendal Entrance Answer, you should read this as a 1/1 flash that comes in and counters something. It has a bunch of text that's not relevant for limited, but a 1/1 flying flash that counters something is good. It just turns out to be good in this set. And then Flitterwing Nuisance I love. It's not an inherently super powerful card, but it lets you draw a bunch of cards. Okay, so let's see what we've got at the common level. Wanderbrine Trapper and Encumbered Reejery are cards that you definitely want to see if you're building a Merfolk lane. And wow, do we ever have the removal in white. Double Pyrrhic Strike, double Liminal Hold, and Spiral into Solitude. So we may have what it takes to build a Merfolk deck. Then there's Gallant Foul Knight, some random stuff. Wanderbrine Preacher is a nice 2-drop. Keep out, you might have to play Everstrike's Gift. Flying turns out to be pretty good in this set. Okay, in blue, we have a Flittering Nuisance, Blossom Bind, so that's even more removal. Triple Gravelgill Scoundrel, it's good if you have a bunch of tap synergies. It's not very good otherwise. Runaway Together is not particularly good. I may run the counter spell. And then we have the other counter spell, Pestered Wellguard, Unexpected Assistance, and double Wanderwine Farewell is a very good card, by the way. So let me sort these into colors quickly. Okay, so now looking at black, we have Bogslather's Embrace, which is a good removal spell. Double Boggart Mischief, which is nice if you're in the Goblins lane. And we do have Grub. Dawnhand Eulogist is a very strong common, but only if you're in Elves. And then the rest of these are not really playable cards. In red, wow, we have really little black, actually. In red, double Cinder Strike is very nice. Flamechain Mauler is basically just a Grizzly Bears, 2/2 with no ability that you really activate. And then we have Soul Immolation. The rest of these cards are also not really playable. I mean, Flamechain Mauler is a 2-drop, and 2-drops are always necessary. But nothing that's pulling me into red particularly. And then in green, I do like Blossoming Defense. Assert Perfection is maybe the best common in the set, as it turns out. We actually have quite a bit of Elves pieces. We have the double Lissalin and Dignitary, Lissalin Informant. Morkant's Eyes is one of the biggest elf payoffs. Then we have double Crossroads Watchers, okay, and Pitiless Fists. And then, wow, we must have a lot of multicolored cards, eh? So I quite like Deepway Navigator and Sig's Command, so I'll certainly be playing those if I end up in Merfolk. There are some pretty solid bodies here in terms of Changelings and Goblins. Double Hovel Hurler is nothing to sneeze at. Those guys can convert games. And then Changeling Wayfinder just helps you smooth your mana. I would be very inclined to play one of those, even if I'm just in a classic 2-color deck. Okay, so, you know, we have something to work with here. Let me sort these cards that I've pulled out as our major playables into their colors, and let's see what we're drawn to. So this is kind of a cool sealed pool. What you really want in sealed is to have all of your cards, or a whole bunch of your cards, playable in the same deck, right? Having your cards spread out in their in terms of like highly powerful cards across a bunch of different colors means you're essentially wasting spots in your pool on cards that you could not possibly fit into the same deck. So we kind of got lucky in the sense that we have a ton of multicolored cards with hybrid mana costs that could go in all in the same deck. And we have very few of 2 colors. So you really like to see this kind of lopsidedness in a sealed pool. 2 decks stick out at me. The first is a sort of a Merfolk deck, having a bunch of my good white removal, my Merfolk payoff cards, and some of my blue Merfolks all in the same deck. I will say it looks a little bit light on just good creatures. I do have Wanderbrine Trapper and Encumbered Reejery. Encumbered Reejery and the Pestered Wellguard go nicely with the Gravelgill Scoundrel, but nothing else really does. I guess Wanderbrine Preacher is okay. So I'm not totally sold on that deck, but it has a lot of powerful stuff. And the other deck that I want to look at is to use my high quality that I have in green. I have a bunch of green 2-drops. I have Morkant's Eyes. And so I wonder if I could pair that with a bunch of changelings and have a good green-blue deck, green-white deck, maybe even a green-black deck, but probably not. So let's look at the Merfolk one first. So I think the Merfolk deck would look something like this. It has a good curve and okay synergy. It has good powerful cards. Wanderbrine Trapper, Glenelynch's Answer, Deepway Navigator, all pretty powerful in the deck. But the thing I like most about it is just the removal. Spiral into Solitude, Blossom Bind, double Pyrrhic Strike, double Liminal Hold. I am a bit worried about the threat quality and threat density. I think I have a bunch of not very good cards at the 2-drop and 3-drop slot. Hovel Hurler is a way to win games, but it does require double white. So Changeling Wayfinder will be nice for smoothing that out. Gathering Stone is a fantastic card, and it is merfolky enough that I think that can do a lot of good work for me. So all in all, I wouldn't be devastated to play this build, but I do at least want to look at, let's say, a green-red or green-black version and see if that looks a little bit more compelling. Green-red might look maybe a little something like this. Ignore the mana, obviously. I have a lot of 3-drops with reasonable stats. I still get to play the Hovel Hurlers. I have maybe higher quality 2-drops, but I'm also very awkwardly split across archetypes. I don't know, Enraged Flamecaster is just really bad here. I have a bunch of elf synergy stuff. Like I can't even play my Morkant's Eyes, I don't think. I highly doubt I have enough elves to make that really work. And my card quality, the average card quality, I think is worse. I don't get to play as much of the good removal that I have in white. And also, even my highest quality card, I have Soul Immolation, which is fantastic. But what's my second best card in this build? Like it kind of falls down to like, I don't know, C+ level commons and uncommons. So given how weak my black was, I don't even really feel the need to go looking at black. So maybe the one other thing to look at is, do I have perhaps a very aggressive, let's say green-white deck to be built in here? So this is maybe almost as good as the blue-white deck, but I think it's clearly worse in my opinion. I do get to play all the good white removal, but I'm missing out on some of my most powerful blue cards, which are those Merfolk cards and the 1/1 that counters something. And my creature count and creature quality are not very impressive for a highly aggressive deck. Like these Crossroads Watchers don't have, and you know, I don't have any of the Kithkin synergies and this kind of thing. So these Crossroads Watchers are not going to get turned on very much. Alyssa and Dignitaries are going to be hard to cast. So all in all, I think I'm more impressed by the blue-white deck. So in the end, I think I'm going to run with this one. And yeah, let's see how it goes. It looks like a solid Merfolk-ish deck. All right, I quite like this start. I mean, I'm on the play with a 2-drop, a 3-drop, and a nice counterspell. And Wanderwine Farewell is a nice goal to aim for. Okay, so here I'm just going to play the Wanderbrine Preacher. It does stack up well against the Gold Meadow Nomad. Gold Meadow Nomad. The opponent seems to be on maybe blue or white-black blight, I mean. Changeling Wayfinder is a little bit awkward in my deck. I will admit that, but I do think it's perfectly fine as just a little bit of a mana smoother, you know, on turn 3, always hitting your 4-drop. Oh, what's this going to be? Scarblade's Malice is fine, so we go 1 for 1. And I'll go ahead and play Changeling Wayfinder, get myself a little bit more mana. The token is not an issue for me because I have Wanderwine's Farewell. I guess I'll get another island because I'm about to play a Plains. Yeah, makes sense. I have double white, double blue kind of all over the place in my pool. So having 2 of stuff is useful. All right, now they're going to play a land and play a 3-drop, I assume. No? Okay. That's pretty good for me, but unfortunately, I also don't have much going on. So let's see. This is the Indestructible, not the draw card. So maybe I will just hold up Glenelynch's Answer. I mean, I could Spiral into Solitude, but I just don't feel very motivated to do that. My deck does have a pretty reasonable creature count, so I think it's a little unlucky for me to be not putting on any pressure at the moment. It looks like they may just invest in increasing their Burden Stone back, crash in for 5, does put me a little bit on the back foot. Counter all spells and all abilities. So I could make that thing not have indestructible. That does not sound worth it. Okay, so I'll take it. Unfortunately, I did not do anything with my turn. So let's see. Here I could liminal hold the Burdenstone back. I could also just Spiral into Solitude it, but I would rather have Spiral into Solitude up for having Glenelendra's Answer up after I play it. So why don't I go ahead and liminal hold the Burdenstone back now that they've invested in it? I do get a nice rebate on life, so I go up to 17, and I'll just crack in for 1, putting them down to 20. But now it kind of is time for me to have something. So if they play a creature here, I can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and Convoke for 7 to Wanderwine Farewell, their token, and whatever creature they play. So I'm kind of hoping that they play a creature. There you go. So now I play this. Now I would ordinarily... So another option is to play the Pestered Wellguard and Spiral into Solitude, but let's just Wanderwine Farewell, get 2 1/1s, and then perhaps they play Encumbered Reejerey again, and then I can Spiral into Solitude it and hold up Glenelendra's Answer. And I'm still not putting on pressure, but Pestered Wellguard is a 3-power creature, so that's something. Of course, at a certain point, my opponent is going to hit, you know, some of their actual cards to play. So Sig's Command, I could draw a card, tap their thing, and stun. I think I would rather have a copy of Pestered Wellguard, but why don't I just lock this down and hold up Glenelendra's Answer? Maybe I should just play the Pestered Wellguard at this point, to be honest. Because copying Pestered Wellguard seems good. And I can stun something. I think it's time for me to establish a proper board presence, in my opinion. And if I draw a land, then I can Sig's Command and Glenelendra's Answer next turn. Okay. So here, for example, I get to play this, attack with my team, and give the Wanderbrine Preacher -3. Oh, doesn't this happen? Oh, this is the one that when it becomes tapped, whoops. Somehow this whole time, I thought it was the one that when it becomes tapped, it gives something -3, -0. So I fully just blundered there, my bad. Now I'm obviously wishing that I had Sig's Commanded before all of that happened. I don't really want to make a copy of my Changeling Wayfinder. Yeah, that was really bad. Sorry, folks. This whole time, I never read this card, and I thought that it was, I just, in my mind, thought it was the one that gives something -3, but it's the one that makes a 1/1. Well, my opponent is pretty choked on mana, so perhaps it turns out not to matter. So let's just counter this one, make a 1/1, and then I could Blight, but I don't really want to. So let's go to my turn. I wish I could just draw 2. But okay, next turn I can draw and stun something, and maybe that will be enough to get the job done. Yeah, my bad on the Pestered Wellguard. I was just going off of like the size of the body, but clearly didn't remember the art well enough. Also, unfortunately, they kept postponing the Arena Direct today over and over, so I had 11 a.m. Eastern time, my time blocked off to do this one. But they pushed it back to 3 p.m. Then they pushed it back to 4 p.m. And then they released it half an hour before 4 p.m. anyways, without announcing that ahead of time. So I did a full day of work before getting into this, so did get a little bit tired. But let's go ahead and draw a card. Let's tap this one down, and let's just push some damage. Well, neither I nor my opponent is having the best luck on draws right now, I will tell you that much, but I do have them on a 2-turn clock. Let's go into full control just to not give away that every remaining card in our hand is a land. Oh no, I would keep priority anyways because of Spiral into Solitude. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, okay. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I have 6 lanes left out of 22, I guess. About a 1 in 4 chance of drawing a land. We'll just see if they're able to play flying blockers or a life blinker. I should pretty much always keep 2 mana untapped for Spiral into Solituding their Prideful Feastling. Okay, so they do not have a flying blocker, so they're just trying to increase their clock a little bit. Wanderbrine Trapper may actually be a good one. So here I can push a lot of damage, right? Why did they tap this? That's a little bit confusing to me. I wonder if they actually have another of the lifelink, but then wouldn't they want to get 3 lifelink anyways? It's a little strange. This looks like maybe they have something up their sleeve. No? Okay. Well, I'll definitely just play the Wanderbrine Trapper. And pass. And let's see if they have something. I have a lot of different ways of dealing 1 damage, so we'll see if they have something. All right. Well, we got the first game in spite of ourselves. Got the first game totally in spite of my unfortunate play. The opponent was totally choked on mana. It might have been a very different story if they hadn't been. Is there anything that I want to change here? I will say I felt very light on creatures for whatever reason that game. I wonder if maybe I cut something like Blossom Bind to just fit in like a Gallant Foul Knight, something that just puts stats on the battlefield. It does seem like a big step down though in terms of curve and power. Honestly, maybe I should be on 16 lands, but I kind of want to be able to like always hit my double pips. Okay, all right, let's just go on to the next game. So I believe if I win 1 more, then on my next win, I start getting rewards. I start getting gems back. All right, so I'm going to start out with Gravelgill Scoundrel. This Scoundrels plus Deepway Navigator actually is a pretty nice interaction. And by the way, Deepway Navigator is not legendary, so I can Sig's command my Deepway Navigator. 2 forests, interesting. Okay. Well, here, let's see. I could just attack. They might just block. I think I just attack. Okay, fair enough. And then end of their turn, I'm going to play Deepway Navigator. I mean, this thing has Vigilance anyway, so the only decision was, should I have played that during their turn? If they attacked, I probably would not block, or during my turn rather. But I think I'll just put this down. They do seem to have the 4/2 flash. So I'm calling that they have the 4/2 flash right now. We'll see if that's correct. But if so, it's going to get Pyrrhic Striked, right? So the idea would be attack with Gravelgill Scoundrel, tap this guy. And then, let's see. I really want to have another Gravelgill Scoundrel, but maybe I actually just Sig's command. Copying Deepway Navigator. Having multiple Deepway Navigators sounds pretty good, but I would like another way to be attacking with them. That is if I had 3 Gravelgill Scoundrels, I could be going in for a lot of 9 unblockable every turn or something, and 2 Deepway Navigators. So maybe I actually copy the Gravelgill Scoundrel to be able to attack. No, because then I would need more Merfolk to tap it. Okay, so let's just attack with the Scoundrel and hold up Pyrrhic Strike, probably. I think that's the most responsible play. So in with this guy, make it unblockable. Now it's either Pyrrhic Strike or it's Sig's command. If they're cracking in for 5 damage, how worried am I about that? 4 or 5 damage. Yeah, I don't really want that to happen. Next turn I can Sig's command plus Gravelgill Scoundrel anyways. Oh, it wasn't the 4/2. Interesting. Okay, my call was wrong. Yeah, green-blue. Hard to know what to expect from that color combination. Okay, so now I think I will just Pyrrhic Strike that guy. If they play an amazing enchantment, I'll be really sad, but let's just get rid of the Chitinous Graspling. It's possible I was supposed to hold that removal, but I feel like if they're attacking for 4 Vigilance every turn, I'm kind of losing my edge. So let me draw a card and copy a Merfolk. I'll copy this Merfolk, I guess, and I will draw a card. And then I will attack with just Gravelgill Scoundrel. Oh, I guess I could have copied the Deepway Navigator. Play this Gravelgill Scoundrel after attacking so that I would untap my Deepway Navigator, but I don't think that matters. Those guys are not blocking. Okay, so my board is extremely fragile here. Extremely fragile. Okay, Chomping Changeling is not going to do that much. These are not very good cards, so I'm kind of waiting to see why my opponent is in blue-white. Okay, I'm getting a little tired of the flood. I wonder if I should be on 16, to be honest. Like, this is 2 games of pretty severe flood for me. So maybe I should be on 16 lands. Maybe I need more card selection. Like, I never need... I guess 7 lands is good for hovel hurlers. That's the amount of mana on which you can play a hovel hurler and activate it. Sapling Nursery is a little annoying, especially after I already spent Pyrrhic Strike. And now that I draw Glenelyndra's Answer after the fact. But okay, I'll attack with Scoundrel and Scoundrel, and we're just continuing to push tiny little increments of damage. I do wish that this guy were a Merfolk. That would make this spell a lot better, wouldn't it? Because then all of my Merfolk would get +1/+0. At a certain point, I can start attacking with, a Deepway Navigator suicidally in order to push a little bit extra damage off of the Scoundrels, just to trigger the Navigator abilities. That would be 6 damage. So you're going to attack me vigilantly. So I can block it and then just counter whatever they play. But I don't really care about combat tricks, right? I think I actually just take the 2. What is this? Thought Weft Charge. Okay, let's go ahead and counter that only because they would draw a card if that resolves. I don't really want them to draw a card because this did enter. So I guess I could have blocked because I ended up countering their combat trick anyways, but who knew that they were going to play a combat trick? I mean, what they did made perfect sense, but who knew that they were going to play a combat trick regardless? It's too bad that this fairy can't attack. So attack, attack, and tap the Regery. So that next turn I can attack with the Regery and get my double trigger. I don't think I attack with Deepway Navigator. I have them on a 7 turn. Okay, let's think for a second. I have them on a 7 turn clock as is. If I attacked with the Navigator, this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 damage, putting them down to 8. And then I do it again for another 6 damage. Let's do 1 turn of dealing them 2 damage, and then it's a 2 turn clock by attacking with 3 Merfolk every turn. So I'll tap. Oh, they can also tap each other. That's kind of cool. But I'll definitely tap Encumbered Regery for the value. And then I will tap. I guess, yeah, I'm not going to be blocking with one of these guys. So, okay, maybe I do play the 3 Gravelgill Scoundrels because they're so good with Deepway Navigator. So next turn, my plan is attack with Encumbered Regery and both Gravelgill Scoundrels, get the double trigger. This would have been a much more commanding sequence if I had been attacking with 3 Merfolk this whole time. And yeah, it kind of feels like I have too many lands or too little to do with my lands. Maybe I put an Unexpected Assistance, the draw 3 spell. I did like having one of those at the Spotlight series. I had one in my, actually, the Limited Championship qualifier tournament. Oh, they just unmana screwed themselves with a Plains. Okay, I think I just take the 4. I mean, sooner or later I'm going to start chump blocking, but I think a little bit later. Not right now. Yeah, let's see if they were waiting for, okay, yeah. That's really annoying, isn't it? Probably taking out a Deepway Navigator, putting it on a 4 turn clock. Oh, okay, yeah, that also makes sense. Yeah, that might be, oh, interesting. I was gonna say that might be a good game, but what do I think about just locking down their Sapling Nursery? Now, do I liminal hold their liminal hold? Do I like the trajectory on which things were going before? Or do I liminal hold their Sapling Nursery? They're probably going to win in the long run if they get to Sapling Nursery, right? Yeah, so I think it's just like this. I think I get rid of your Sapling Nursery. Now, they are playing like Chomping Changeling and stuff, so who knows if it stays gotten rid of. But I think I get rid of the Sapling Nursery. Sure. Okay, that means they do not have a way of exiling my liminal hold, so that's good. And then I will attack with Gravelgill Scoundrel, tapping the Encumbered Regery. This makes my whole game plan much, much slower. But one idea here is, you know, I'm going to take some pain here. Yeah, I can start blocking these things profitably next turn. But that doesn't help so much, does it? Because I'm going to take 6 here, or 7 rather, because you can pump one of them with a Surly Farrier. Yeah, this is not looking great. I would love to find a Hovel Hurler or Bounce. The Bounce card, Wanderwine Farewell, would be an amazing find here. Sapling Nursery is really good. Just put so many stats on the board. Let's see what they've got. Yeah, I really want to fit more stuff to do into my deck. This amount of flood is just not really a good situation. Pyrrhic Strike would have been... I mean, finding my other Pyrrhic Strike would be really nice. I don't know, maybe I should be on the green-white build. But it didn't even seem that proactive, to be honest. Maybe I should just be on the red-green build to have access to the one-sided board wipe. I kind of like the idea of unexpected assistance, maybe instead of... Oh, Brigid's Command is so bad for me. That is so bad for me. Wow. And then a Mara Sky Swimmer, so yeah. Need to find multiple answers to proceed from here. Okay. I would say that's... Whoa, you're not attacking? Okay, and Changeling Wayfinder is such a do-nothing card. I'm shocked that they didn't attack me. I don't know how to interpret that. Yeah, Changeling Wayfinder is just not good. Just not a good card in this situation at all. I mean, I really want Wanderwine Farewell, Hovel Hurler, Liminal Hold, Gathering Stone, Pyrrhic Strike. Flittering Nuisance is no longer any good. But nothing to do here. I'm shocked that they didn't attack last turn. Why didn't they? Doesn't really make sense to me. Thoughtweft Lieutenant. Okay. And a Gangly Stompling. Oh, their hand was just all action. They drew only action. Okay. Surly Farrier on this guy. Surly Farrier on that guy. Okay, so I guess I'll double block because I can't be taking 12 every turn. And yeah, not really sure what to do after that. Think we're cooked. Let's just see one more draw. Yeah, you would have been good a few turns ago. So I can bounce 2 tokens. Make a 1/1. Make 2 1/1s, I mean. That doesn't seem like it's gonna do it. Oh, I could have bounced the Farrier. Oh well. So they can like pump their Stompling. They can pump their Sky Swimmer. Yeah, I'm still not sure why they're 3 colors exactly. I guess they just had some blue rare that they wanted to play, perhaps, because we really didn't see pretty much any blue from them at all. They're actually a green-white deck, and they took a long time to find their white. But my deck is not applying enough pressure. Let's try the green-white build, I'd say. Another Brigid's Command, awesome. Let's try the green-white build. Let's see if that's any better. Or maybe green-red. Feels like blue-white is just not putting on enough creatures, enough pressure, enough synergy, flooding out every game. So let's try green-red. Okay, I tried green-white. I tried red-white. I tried green-red. And I just don't think any of those decks have anywhere close to the juice. Our pool is so imbalanced. It's purely a Bant pool, like green, blue, white. We just have no reason to be 3 colors whatsoever. So I'm thinking maybe I go with a blue-white build that's just a little bit more focused on playing cards to the board. So maybe instead of one of these Gravelgill Scoundrels, I play Mischievous Sneakling. And then I guess I play like Gallant Foul Knight and Colorwrath Mystic just to up my creature count, even though those are not good cards, but I like the idea of just having creatures down. Maybe I'm supposed to cut this Foul Knight to play the Wanderwine Farewell, because this does not really cost 7 mana. It's more like a 4 or 5 mana spell if you have a bunch of 2-drops. So this is just a slightly more creature-focused version. I really tried to come up with a different build in this pool, but I think blue-white is just kind of where it has to be. So if I can win 2 more, get some gems back, I'll be pretty happy. But otherwise, I'm going to be trying again tomorrow in the Arena Direct. All right, this looks like a really good hand. This looks like a really, really good hand. I'm not so sure what Colorado Mystic is going to do for me, but hey, I have a 1-drop Wanderbrine Trapper. It kind of combos with Wanderbrine Preacher, by the way. And I'm just threatening damage. Like I'm going to curve out 1, 2, 3, and hopefully 4. And yeah, see how it goes. But this looks like the kind of a hand that is capable of winning fair games of Sealed. I think being on 16 lands was a really important change. Maybe this Colorado Mystic was a overreaction. Very possible. But let's slap down this Wanderbrine Preacher. Deepway Navigator is a very nice find. Yeah, I don't really know what would be better than the Wanderbrine Preacher, but probably there are things. And look, we're just beating down. I mean, this is a nasty beating. Next turn, I get to play Deepway Navigator. So I think I will just attack with all of my stuff. I think it's worth it to just push more and more damage. I'll play Deepway Navigator and attack with everything. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe what I want to do is tap the Flaring Cinder. Yeah, that's the thing. So I tap Flaring Cinder with Prideful Feastling, tapping a white mana, or sorry, with Wanderbrine Preacher to get the extra 2 life. Then I'm going to play Deepway Navigator, untap each other Merfolk. This is a really nice line, isn't it? And then I get to crash in for 9 damage. That's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good. All right, I don't feel like I'm getting completely steamrolled anymore. And now we have Pyrrhic Strike plus tapping something with Wanderbrine Preacher. I don't hate it. It looks like we are progressing towards a win, but let's see. The opponent could have any number of awesome cards. They certainly have any number of awesome lands right here. Loving their style. Here comes a Feed the Flames. So we're not quite winning next turn, unfortunately, because that is going to resolve. Now, let's see. I do have a choice. I can tap down the Flaring Cinder and get in for 2. Or sorry, I can tap down the Flaring Cinder and get in for 4. Or I can Pyrrhic Strike it and get in for 6. Oh, that's just winning. Oh my goodness, I'm so cooked. Listen, when they, I'm sorry. When they changed, like I specifically started work early so that I could get a full workday in and also play for an hour at 11 a.m., which means I woke up early, worked early, then logged into Arena at 11 when the Arena Direct was supposed to unlock. And then it just said, you need to wait 4 more hours. So then I reconfigured my day and then, okay, 1 more win and I'm getting 2,700 gems. Not bad. Reconfigured my day and booked off 3 p.m. And then I logged in at 3 p.m. It said you have to wait for another hour. So now I'm operating on not that much brain power. At 3:30, it then kind of mysteriously unlocked. Okay, so we really want to win this game. Many people would say you're supposed to keep this. You have usually a 2-drop, in this case, even better, a 1-drop. You have a bunch of things that you could play if you find your other main color. But the thing is, with Pyrrhic Strike being conditional and Wanderbrine Trapper not being very good on its own, I think it's so crucial that we find a blue. Although we also are on the draw, and Pestered Wellguard plus Wanderbrine Trapper is pretty awesome. And I do have removal. Okay, so maybe I do just keep this. Let's see. I have 8 islands in my deck. And I kind of want to draw one by turn 2 though. And I don't have, okay, I actually do mulligan. And the reason I do mulligan is so many of my 2-drops are specifically cards that cost blue mana. Here, I think I actually put back Glenalendra's Answer. I'm more concerned with just establishing my board, I think. Deepway Navigator, Gravelgill Scoundrel go great together, and with Sig's Command, as we discovered earlier. So I think I just put back the slowest card in the hand. The slowest and least synergistic, the least part of the plan. Now we do need to find more Gravelgill Scoundrels if we're going to do the whole Deepway Navigator, Gravelgill Scoundrel thing. All right, slap down a Gravelgill Scoundrel. Then I'm going to play the Deepway Navigator at the end of their turn. Then I'm going to Sig's Command and hope to find another 2-drop. That's the idea. That is the idea. Safe Right Cavalry coming down. That's really, really bad for me. That, I almost don't have a... So I have tons of removal in my deck, but my creatures just cannot compete with that guy. And by the way, I have not found my Hovel Hurlers once. Like, I put this huge top end in my deck for a reason. So I have no attack. You know, honestly, I think I'm just going to lock that guy down and draw a card. I feel like I just want to see more cards in the situation. So I missed out on a damage. My bad, everyone. I should have done that first and attacked with Gravelgill Scoundrel. They should be at 19. That can matter in high-level events. Shimmer Creep, wow. Their deck is so cool. Okay, so we do get the combo of Wanderbrine Trapper plus Pestered Wellguard, and also Gravelgill Scoundrel plus Pestered Wellguard. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to take a lot of damage. But starting next turn, I can play the Wanderbrine Trapper and start tapping this guy down, and I can also chump block it for now. Basically, this combo, or also the Trapper plus Wellguard combo, gives me infinite chump blockers. Explosive Prodigy. Why am I facing this in the 2 wins, 1 loss section? Their deck is awesome. I would love to have this deck. That's so cool. I can't help but feel that I take it. Okay, hello, Hovel Hurler. I was just talking about you. So maybe I do play this guy. It is a chunky creature. I wouldn't mind having the Trapper and the Deepway Navigator. So first, let's attack with the Scoundrel. No need to make it unblockable. And then I will go ahead and play Hovel Hurler. And Hovel Hurler can sort of block. The thing is, Safe Right Cavalry can pump itself. But yeah, they haven't had to spend a removal spell yet. So the odds that they have a removal spell are very high. There you go. Blighting with essentially no cost, no consequence. Now this is a attack that reveals that they have a combat trick, but I do not have the luxury of just playing around combat tricks forever. Oh, or do they have something, unbury, something that returns cards from their graveyard to their hand? That certainly seems like it, doesn't it? Okay, I'll go ahead and play Wanderbrine Trapper and Flitterwing Nuisance. I guess I get a free attack off the Scoundrel, right? Because I'm going to untap my Trapper no matter what. So even if I decide I want to chump block with it, which I hope I don't. Probably Gravelgill Scoundrel is going to be the one chump blocking at this stage. Oh, what's this? 6 mana? 7 mana? You need 7 mana? That's scary. It's not Tristan's Command. 7 mana? What's 7 mana in green and black? I can't even think of it. Grub's Command is not 7 mana, so I have something else to do for 2 mana. Sure. Oh, I guess they just wanted to be able to attack with Great Forest Druid. So I'm going to actually play Deepway Navigator, chump block with that, rather than the Wanderbrine Trapper, I think. But I don't know what our out is here. Maybe Wanderbrine Farewell buys me some time. That's obviously nothing. I guess I'll just attack with both. Maybe I attack with just this one, actually. Draw one, see if it gets me out of it. No. Okay. Pretty inglorious run. I think our rares were definitely on the weaker side. Our commons and uncommons were not bad, especially the removal suite. So when I drew the removal suite, things did work pretty smoothly for us. But yeah, I think I felt very strongly from the beginning that this pool doesn't really have what it takes to get there. In these events, you have to get lucky in your pool and also get lucky in your games, and then also build really well and also play really well. And I didn't play very well, and I did not get lucky in my pool, and I did not get very lucky in my games. So So kind of XXXX. But having said that, I'll be back tomorrow, much fresher and sprier, having not had to wait for 4 hours for wizards to choose to unlock the event. And hopefully we'll just do a whole lot better next time. So if you do want to see that run, go ahead and click subscribe using the link in the description below. We almost got to 3 wins, even with, I would say, a pretty bad setup. So I'm fairly happy with that. And I'm off to Friday Night Magic, and I'll see you tomorrow. Until then, have tons of fun playing Magic, everyone, and don't be afraid to splash.